Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the second in a series of learning the Khmer language. What I have is a simple dialogue that I've written behind me, and we're going to discuss about it and start learning the script today. So I hope everyone's ready. So starting from the top here, we have Jumrip Sua. Jumrip Sua, as if we remember from our last lesson, is a very formal hello. So again, we clap our hands, speaking to an elder, someone we respect, and we say, Jumrip Sua, Jumrip Sua. Very easy. You notice the Jumrip Sua, the R will have a little roll to it. That's very common with the native speakers of Khmer. So you can roll the R if you want to. Starting with our new words here in the second sentence. Po'on. Po'on tumo a. Po'on tumo a. Po'on literally means cousin. Cousin. It's used to address younger children that you may see, that you want to address in a more familiar way. So you call them Po'on. I'm approaching my 30s now, so it'll probably be somewhere in the range of a kid between 5 and 12, and I would address him as Po'on, Po'on. Maybe a little bit older, and just a much more familiar way. And again, that literally means cousin. Tumo, Po'on tumo a. Tumo is our next word here. It functions as a verb in a noun. It just means to be named, our name itself. So here, Po'on tumo, so cousin name. A is short for Abai, which we'll see later. Po'on tumo a. A here is a very abbreviated way of saying what. So Po'on tumo a. Po'on tumo a. It's much more popular in the colloquial form of Khmer as well. So we'll see a lot in the future. Po'on tumo a. So cousin. To be named what? So simple translation would be cousin. What is your name? Let's see how he answers. Knyom. I, Chumur, then to be named her name, Knyom Chumur, Lum Nari. So Lum Nari would be his name, or her name. Lum Dia Trakol. Lum, again, this is the last name again. Lum Dia. Dia, as I written below here, means the to be verb. So Dia, you also hear Gu Dia, which we'll talk about later. Dia, it just means to be. So am is are will be translated as Dia. Next, Trakol. Trakol functions similar to Tumur, whereas Tumur is to be named, our name. Trakol is to have a surname, our surname itself, so as a verb or a noun. So Lum Dia Trakol, Lum is surname. Nari, and again notice the colon here, Nari, so it's going to be a long tone. Nari Dia Tumur, so Nari is my name, or is name. Moving on. Do lo bing, do lo bing, do bing come together here, and they form a simple particle that's something similar to Spanish of itu, or in Chinese of nina, just simple in you. So do lo bing, lo from our last lesson is you, a very formal you. We can change this to ang, which we said before, which is very much more familiar, much more friendly you, or we can change it to an actual pronoun itself, such as a name. We say duh, Charlie, Bing. So, and Charlie, what about you? So, for example, if I wanted to make a sentence, I could say, hey, I really like to go to the movies. What about you? Do you want to go? Hey, duh, Charlie, Bing. So, and Charlie, do you want to go to the movies? So it's simple, and you. And what we'll have here is just duh, the actual pronoun itself, and Bing to make the sentence and you. Next, Knyom Tumur, so I name, and then whatever name. In the dialogue, they choose a French name. You can put your own name there. Knyom Tumur, your name. Trakol, Trakol, this is again surname, which functions as a noun and a verb. Trakol, and then your name, or your last name here. And Tumur, your last name. So for example, if my name is John Smith, I would say, Knyom Tumur, John Smith. Trakol, Smith, Tumur, John. Next, Akun, Akun, very simple, thank you. Akun, Akuntran, Akun, it just be translated as thank you. You'll hear it all the time. Next, Jumrip Lia, Jumrip Lia. Jumrip Lia sounds very similar to Jumrip Zua. That's because it's a very formal goodbye. In our last lesson we learned Lia Khai, which is also a great expression. It's not quite as formal as Jumrip Lia. Jumrip Lia just used with someone you maybe not necessarily care more respect for, but someone who in traditional Khmer culture would be at a higher social status. So jumrip lia. Lia by itself means to separate. Jumrip is a very formal way of saying meet. So here we're just saying jumrip lia, meeting and then separate. Whereas in here, jumrip sua, the sua particle here means, it literally means to ask a question. It could also mean to when you first meet somebody. So a very quick explanation of what you see in front of here. Obviously we have a lot of script going on. The little particles here, like 4, are actually periods. These are periods that you see in the Cambodian language. And what it's telling you is that one sentence is stopping and the next one is beginning. Alright? It's also very common with young people to use the punctuation marks you see here, and the English period has slowly made its way into Khmer culture. Traditionally, this will be the period that you'll see most often in books or on the internet. Next, let's see, my next point here was... Oh, sort of escaped my mind. I had something else to say, but I can't remember. So let's start with the dialogue very quickly. Hopefully everyone will be able to follow along. French name. Put your name there. Alright, let's review the vocabulary really quick.
Vocabulary.
Jumriep. Suo. Two broke up early. To meet and to question. Together just means very formal hello. Oh. Chmua. Akol here. Akun. A. Chia. Over here. To be. Chok anh Vinh. Chok Lok Vinh. How are you? And you. That is just a name here. And Dara, what about you? Chok Dara Vinh.
Unit 1.
Alright, very good. Alright, so that about sums it up. As far as pronunciation goes, I'd be careful. This Vinh, this letter you see right here, it's similar to a V and it's similar to a W, and it's actually a mix of the two. It takes a while to learn with your tongue. If you pronounce it as a straight V, well, that's incorrect. Vinh. If you pronounce it as a straight W, Win, that's also incorrect. It's actually a mix between two of Vinh, Vinh. So it's it takes a little while. If you pronounce it as the V, Vinh, there are some dialects in Cambodia that will do that, and people will understand you. Standard Phnom Penh will actually be a mix between the two. So be careful with that, and hope everyone has enjoyed the dialogue. My next little section I want to do today is, because the script is so important in the culture and in the learning the language itself, I want to start learning the actual script itself. So the first letter today is what you see here, which is pronounced gaw, gaw. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. Gaw. So this is actually similar to an English G. It's unaspirated, just a g sound. However, every letter in Cambodian will carry an innate, or carry a, I guess a corresponding vowel sound with it. Half of them will carry the aw sound, half of them will carry the o sound, which we'll talk about later. This is aw, gaw, gaw. So the G sound plus the innate aw that goes along with it. Gaw, gaw. Alright, and the way that words function is that, let's see, for example, we'll have the G here. If we're going to add a simple vowel, well, let's see, the first vowel we'll learn today, won't we learn this right here? This is pronounced as a. So gaw, this is a. If you put them together, whenever you put the vowel together, or whenever you put a consonant together with a vowel, you'll lose the innate vowel sound that the consonant carries, and it'll take on the new vowel sound that follows behind it. So here we have ga, ga, constra a, so vowel a together forms ga, ga. All right, a very quick explanation of what they mean. Ga, ga, by itself, it just means your neck right here. Ga would be your neck. And if we put these two together, ga, ga, well, let's see. We'll add a innate R to it, or ro. This doesn't function in the pronunciation at all. It still pronounces ga. And this can be translated as many different things. So ga would be to get married. Mian ga would be I'm very busy. Just it's a very, very universal word. It can mostly be translated as a matter or marriage itself. Okay, so our first two script words, ga, which means neck, and then ga, which could be translated as a matter or marriage itself. Okay, and there's our vowel right here. Let's hear the native speaker. This is courteous of Studio Martin, studiomartin.com, which is a great website. And if you're really interested in really getting the script down, I would encourage you to visit it. So let's first focus up here. Ga, ga. You notice all the consonants also carry an innate long tone sound. So ga, you want to make sure that tone stays flat and long. Next, and the vowel itself. Oh, let's review it quick. Good, good, good. And moving into the vowel itself. Good. So together, ga, a, ga. Very easy. All right. If you have any questions, again, as always, just leave them below. I'll be happy to answer what I can. I hope everyone enjoyed. Again, if there's any discrepancies, if you are Khmer and would like to make some suggestions, whatnot, I would love that. That'd be great. And thank you for your time. Bye bye.